Greetings, fellow filthy film bros. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And PerGron.
And welcome to part two of our favorite films of 2025. This time we will be counting down the top 10. And also, I just want to say, I just realized that, I love how, filthy film bros could be some fucking stupid, college humor knockoff of Hungry Hippos. Filthy film bros. Filthy film bros. All right. Well, guys, we've got a list. We've got a
We do.
list.
We do.
We're gonna count it down. That's what we're here to
Yeah.
do.
We are? That's not what I was aware of.
Oh man. All right. So we're gonna go in the same order we went last week, if that's okay with you all. We'll do myself, then PerGron, then Dragon. Is that all right with you guys?
Last
Sounds
week,
good.
this was like Wednesday.
Oh my god. I'm okay. Thank you, Dragon. Yes. We're gonna go in that order. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
What am I gonna say? No.
No! Switch it up!
Would you like to go first, Dragon?
No, I don't want to go first. Why is it a question?
Okay. All right. So let's get into it. We'll recap the whole top 20, at the end. I don't really think we have to recap our 20 through 11 right now.
Okay.
All right. So for me, number 10, we have writer, director, Ava Victor's debut feature, Sorry Baby. So yeah, this one really hit for me. It's told out of order in a way that really makes sense, in a way that kind of I felt was very true to life. I felt was very much like how you would experience trauma and process it. Like the editing was very true to form. There's one cut in particular in this movie, PerGron, you know what it is, that is just one of the most gut wrenching cuts of the year, and you don't see anything graphic, you don't see anything like it doesn't really spell anything out for you, but just the imagery, it's just like, oh yeah, shit, I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But the movie, in spite of being about a very, very dark topic, the movie threads the line where it's got a very warm heart at the center of it. It's got a very uplifting message at the center of it, in spite of the trauma. And I thought Ava Victor just a real force, kind of coming out of nowhere this year. Because she not only wrote and directed this thing, she also starred in it. Did a fantastic job. So yeah, just an all around just surprise hit of a movie. Easily one of the best of the first half of the year, and definitely one that still sticks with me.
All right. For me, number 10 is the newest of probably my favorite crackpot director currently, Yorgos Lanthimos. And I'm going to go with Begonia. For me, Begonia was the kind of movie that at the beginning, I felt like it was very much a accessible movie in a way. Like it's like, okay, this is pretty straightforward. And by the end, I'm like, oh, there's Yorgos. There he is.
Right,
He was hiding the whole time. There he is. For me, the performances really worked here. I thought Jesse Plemons was fucking amazing. Jesse Plemons deserves to be a much bigger star than he is. Um, Emma Stone, of course, is fantastic as always. It's crazy that she shaved her head for this. Um, the I didn't love the cop character. I think that could have been cut entirely. I think that there's definitely things that didn't work for me, but overall, I thought this was hilarious. I thought it was thrilling. I thought that the score was amazing. I'm really bummed that I didn't throw it out for an honorable mention for score at the Golden Tikis. And then by the end, when I first watched the ending, I'm like, I didn't like that, but by the second time I watched it, I'm like, no, I did. So yeah, I ended up really liking Begonia, and Not my favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie. Not even my favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie of the last like 3 years. But it's definitely better than Kinds of Kindness. So yeah, it's my number 10.
Cool. Dragon? Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so my number 10 is Life of Chuck.
Nice.
All right.
We all have this one pretty close together between the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the last movie I got in from 2025. It was yeah, I was very intrigued with this one when it was announced, and like I had the kind of the trailer kind of sold me. I wanted to see it in theaters, but it just wasn't in the cards. But this is my kind of Stephen King movie. I think Mike Flanagan, he directed and wrote the heck out of this one. Wasn't what I expected at all. But I went in blind beyond just the hearing that it was going to be a 3-act structure based upon like what I kind of glimpsed in the trailer, and just hearing it's like there's like a 3 different eras of the character. So I was just so impressed by the whole deconstruction of the multitudes approach that Flanagan took. I just it's like I wasn't sold on Act One until the pieces came together, and then ultimately I was blown away. The dance sequence, very impressive. Then retroactively we give that scene a lot of heart with everything we see unfold in Act Three. So it's like a mystery unfolding as the movie goes on. And I mean, Act Three, I mean, the main reason it made it to the top 10, I'm just gonna be honest, Act Three melts me, man. I love, in general, I love live action Mark Hamill. We never do enough with live action Mark Hamill beyond Star Wars, and it's a crime. No joke. I mean, I think Mark Hamill, sure there's going to be competition with what's, I don't know. I think he gave an Oscar-worthy performance, at the very least, by Mark Hamill's, other, stuff. I mean, this to me feels like he really put in the work on what he did. He put everything into this, into an act for a movie.
Yeah,
it really hit me emotionally. The loss and the life that this kid went through. Just it's just this just the human. It really just represented the human experience, and did a really great kind of commentary on what the human experience is, with like how it all wrapped around, and how what we're basically saying with it by the end. Like the whole, I love the whole glass half full, glass half empty, concept with the mystery door that we did. There's a really beautiful kind of ending, and I just I mean, look, it's we're in it's a lot of stiff competition. That's why it's at number 10. Maybe it'd be high. It might be higher. I don't know, but it's just, it might be a bit of a recency thing, But let's just say after watching this movie, Clayface is in really good hands.
I mean, that's definitely, yeah. I mean, you haven't really seen Mike Flanagan's horror stuff, but it's in this same sort of like emotional vein as well.
Yeah, like genuinely, the his Haunting of Hill House is my favorite piece of television I think I've ever seen. Like it's I rewatch that yearly type of like amazing content. So I've been excited for Clayface as soon as I found out Mike Flanagan was remotely involved.
Okay.
All right. So we have Code Geass. He listed out his top 10, which I'm not going to list out just because we're kind of, I don't want to. So maybe Code Geass. Maybe I'll list out your top 10 like when we're done, when we're going through everything. And then Teddy saying, seriously though, Sinners needs to be at least top 10. Teddy, do you not see Sinners on the thumbnail? It's right there. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't worry.
So hey, it's better than 10, Teddy. That's what they're saying
exactly.
right now. They're saying it's even better than the 3 movies we just talked about. That's how numbers work, Teddy.
At least to one of us.
Okay, so number 9 for me, I think this is probably the best like straight comedy of the year. for me, it's got to be Splitsville, and this was my most recent movie. So there might be a little bit of recency bias. Also, PerGron, I'm making an executive call when it comes to one of the Golden Tiki categories. Okay,
Okay.
I'm taking out my nomination for Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Okay.
This is going right into best stunts and choreography.
Fair.
Like it doesn't even have to go through the wild card bullshit. It's in the main four. Because
That's fair.
holy crap, the fight scene in this movie, guys, it's one for the record books. It's fucking legendary. It's gonna go down in like comedy movie history. It's genuinely like one of the most elaborate set pieces of any comedy in like the past 20 years.
They do a lot of damage to a fish tank.
The best thing about that is that happens. This might be a little bit of a spoiler. I apologize.
Are we on 9?
What?
Are we on 9?
Yes.
Yes, we're on 9. Oh,
well, I can't tell that we're on 9.
Oh my god. Okay, my bad.
Thank you.
Okay, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but like that fight scene happens like at the end of Act 1, so it's like I very much had that like really like one of the best movie experiences that you can have of like, oh man, that was awesome. Where is this movie going next after this? And it goes to some really fun, surprising places. The cinematography and editing in this movie is so on point. That montage of all the different boyfriends, PerGron, all of them like hanging out, you know, and
fucking love that.
Yeah, that was awesome. There's just so much to like about this movie, and as we kind of touched on a couple nights ago with our first part, the two leads in this movie, Dakota Johnson, I think this is her best role yet. I think this is definitely the best use of her I've ever seen in a movie. But the two male leads in this movie, I've never seen them before, but I feel like that adds to it because they feel like real dudes to me. You know what I mean? They don't like, I'm not trying to disassociate them from other roles, and I feel like that just adds more to the comedy. So yeah, this is a very fun, high concept screwball farce of a sex comedy, and I loved it. I genuinely loved it. Had a lot of fun with this one.
Sweet.
All right.
I'm glad you liked it because I kind of was hyping it up.
You were hyping it up a little bit, yeah.
All right. My number 9, I have your Best Picture winner at the Oscars, One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
I was fucking
this is
hyped
a little higher for me.
Mm-hmm. I was hyped for this movie. Paul Thomas Anderson has mostly done no wrong. I didn't love Licorice Pizza, but I mean, There Will Be Blood is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Cooper Hoffman was the best part of Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
What about John Peters?
He was great, but he was only in like 10 minutes of the whole movie.
Okay.
But yeah, like the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, everyone knew it was going to be great. It's got Leo in it. He's one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Leo won an Oscar.
He has. But like the performances here are stellar, and to the point that I don't think Leo is even in the top 5, like in the movie. He might squeak in at number 5 there. Mm-hmm. But Sean Penn is fucking amazing in this movie. If he didn't already have 2 Oscars under his belt, I genuinely think he would have come home, or he would easily come home with it for.
He still might, honestly.
He could. Although for the award circuit so far, it's going to some crazy places. I also think Benicio del Toro was fucking amazing. Like, he seemed very one note in the trailer. I was worried. And he ended up coming out being my favorite character. Teyana Taylor is barely in it after the first 30 minutes, I guess. But presence...
She leaves a big impression. And honestly, those first 30 minutes flow a lot better for me the second time I watched it.
Yeah. Like, the cinematography in this is phenomenal. The score here is phenomenal. The tension, like this is a tense movie. You are on the edge of your seat the entire time. I mean, it's gonna win Best Picture. We all know it's gonna win Best Picture. I'm not mad that it's gonna win Best Picture, even if it's my number 9 of the year. I think it's a well earned movie. It's just not one that I'm gonna see myself returning to all that frequently. And it's not in the top of my PTA list. So I think just that alone kind of keeps it down. Now it's funny that I say that because my next
PTA list.
my next 3 movies are also movies I am not going to return to at any moment, but I think they were a little bit more of my speed. But yeah, One Battle After Another at number 9.
Okay, Dragon.
All right, my number 9 is Nobody 2.
Oh my god. Okay, Dragon. I'm sorry. That's the first one where I'm like, really?
Albuquerque versus Bias.
You know,
I love
if you didn't want me on for the list, you could have just said so. We're at number 9 now. We're just having the grievances. It's
okay.
look,
I
I
had
love
fun with this movie.
yeah. Look,
I
I love.
actually think this. I will say this. I think it's better than the first one.
Look, I loved Nobody. I was hyped for the sequel, even though I kind of thought it was unnecessary in premise, because I think the first Nobody was kind of standalone enough. I know it was open for a sequel, and I know it with the ending and the post credit and everything, but still, it's just going what they were selling us on too with is the family vacation idea. It's very funny. I love the arcade and the duck boat set pieces with the fights. I thought they were the highlights of the film. Even if during the duck boat there's a dismemberment that kind of disturbs me, but tabling that, I still really liked it. It's to me, look, there's a change in director, which I think makes it a little less standout than the first one for me. I mean, I like the first one more, but I mean, I thought this is a delightful movie. It's kind of a basically with like seeing in theaters was a delightful little movie experience, kind of like with the first one. It's just a great throwback to the fun, kind of silly, kind of some fun, silly shenanigans of like the summer vacation family movie, but again with kind of like the undercurrent of action. Which again, I've seen other people attempt like the whole family vacation action movie format, with like the Family Plan and the I'm blanking on the name of it. It was early this year. The one with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz.
Back in Action.
Back in Action. Yeah, because it's the one with the Looney Tunes name, right? That's how I remember it usually. But anyway, we've seen those attempted, and this one felt a lot eons better than what they did. I'm not trying to put them down, but this just felt like a lot more natural. It made sense for like again, it's a family man who essentially is kind of our action hero. So or action anti-hero, however you want to slice that. Anyway, just I'll admit the one hang up I got, Sharon Stone. We went a little broad with her. I mean, look, I have nothing to. I think that her introduction's kind of cute. The idea, like, okay, what if Sharon Stone did run the casino? Wouldn't go so well, would it? She doesn't care about the blueberries. Anyway, but Sharon Stone, there's like like her dancing just for the heck of it, because we like almost like a crazy Morbius dance for some random reason. Just feels like a little. I don't know about that. Her water park setting in the climax, great. Just I just gotta look. I know to the filthy film bros in the room. It doesn't. It doesn't impress, but I'm not here to impress you. All right, I'm just here to say what I like.
It's not high art,
this.
Dragon, so therefore it has no real intellectual value.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I just look. I like Nobody 2. I had a really good time with it. And again, with my criteria for this list, the ones I was thinking of, I was thinking about Nobody 2 since I've seen it. Because it left an impression. It left a positive impression, so it makes the top 10. Ipso facto, case closed.
Very fair. Very
Fair
fair.
enough.
Hey, Stewie, how are the prices up there? Or, I'm sorry. Hey, Stewie, how's the weather up there? Very fair. Like our prices. Anyways. All right. Okay, so number 8 for me, this is going to be pretty straightforward. I think this is a very talented filmmaker. After this director duo kind of like split off, it's pretty obvious. Like, yeah, Josh Safdie has always been the one with the sauce.
This is also my number 8.
Oh, really? Are you
change the
serious?
banner so we know it's number 8 for the people revisiting this later?
Okay, so yeah, PerGron and I guess both our number 8s are Marty Supreme, baby.
Marty Supreme. Yep. This is also
PerGron,
number 8.
for you, is it the best, Josh? Because honestly, at this point, knowing what we know, I kind of just am going to like retroactively just consider Good Times and Uncut Gems Josh Safdie films.
Yeah.
Like, Benny was there. Benny helped.
Benny gets the credit. Yeah, I think this is my favorite of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Another just fucking cortisol-filled movie. Just the entire time is just anxiety. Like, this
But
is
I feel like it does that approach in a much more humanistic way than Uncut Gems does.
Yes.
And even though the Marty Mauser character is clearly a piece of shit, he's also young and arrogant, and you kind of understand why he's a piece of shit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
he's a piece of shit, but not like Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems.
Right. And that's really, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Adam Sandler drama. Like, I think he's genuinely one of the most talented dramatic actors when he wants to be, and that role is no different. That being said, the way that role is written is just so fucking unlikable. It's so unlikable. It's such an unlikable character. And Marty Mauser, it's like I wouldn't, like, he's a little shit, but I almost kind of feel like he's kind of playing the audience the same way that he's playing the people in the movie, if that makes sense, you know?
Yes, I agree.
It's like you can't help but root for this little shithead.
I really like that in this movie, they just stick a bunch of non-actors into it, and they all do really well. Like, fucking Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank has no reason to be a good actor in this movie.
I mean, he is playing himself, but he plays himself very well.
Yeah, like, I love the line where he's like, I'm a vampire from 1608. Because at that moment, I'm like, wait, he might be.
Right.
The way this movie's gone, it's very possible this is the way it goes. But yeah, no, he felt like Kevin O'Leary in Shark Tank, but as much as I hate Kevin O'Leary the person and think he's just a fucking horrible person, I love Kevin O'Leary in Shark Tank. And so he was great here. Penn Jillette is fucking.
You can look at Donald Trump in The Apprentice the same way.
I know. Could have been such a fun guy. But fucking Penn Jillette is unrecognizable here. I literally didn't realize.
Penn Jillette's cameo is just insane.
I didn't realize it was
There's
Penn
still
Jillette.
time to vote for Penn Jillette in best cameo at the wild card round. That's the round that we're doing today. There's still time to vote for him.
Still not better than his Toy Story cameo.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really fun movie. It also just shows what's her name? A Zion. What's her first name?
Oh.
Odessa. Odessa A Zion. She's popped up a couple times this year. But like I think this one definitely kind of made
her own with Chalamet, man. She really does.
Yeah. I mean, we also got a pretty solid role from Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, there was some, and like the table tennis stuff.
Fran Drescher pops up.
Yeah, Fran Drescher pops up. Like this was. I agree. It is the Josh Safdie movie that kind of takes all of what Josh Safdie has done and perfects it.
Totally. And the last thing I'll say on it is that I love the ending. The ending, it took me a little while to marinate on the ending. And what I love about the ending is that I really don't think it's spelled like he could be crying because he's like, I get to be a dad now. Or he could be crying because he's like, oh shit, I
My
have to be
life is
a dad
over.
now.
Yeah.
Like, and I love how you can interpret it both ways. I really love endings
I
like
kind of
that.
interpreted it in both ways.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. So Teddy's saying, you can't help but root for this little shit. That's how people feel about me. And then also Little Blue says, if I had a top 10 films of 2025, Sinners and Superman would be on my list too. All right, Dragon, what's your number 8?
The Naked Gun.
Nice.
All right.
So, I mean, look, I've been waiting for this film for, I guess technically roughly 10 years, because that's when I heard about I heard the invention of this thing. So before I was on the TED 2 commentary, and he mentioned the he mentioned like pitching Liam Neeson for the Leslie Nielsen role in Naked Gun if they
Oh
should
man,
do
I
a
mean,
remake with
yeah,
him.
they were on the money with that. Yeah.
That's the thing, and that was 2015. So since roughly I've heard this as I thought like, oh my god, that would be amazing, and I just kind of drifted like, oh, he's never gonna make that, and he kind of did.
Mhm.
He produced it, but here we go, he made a reality. So it was great seeing it come to fruition, man. Liam Neeson, he's so committed. He makes he makes the movie. Uh, what I really loved and I really appreciate about the Naked Gun is I love that it's kind of it's kind of an update. It's kind of an update on things versus just like a shot for shot remake kind of deal, or basically using like the old jokes or like setting it like in the '90s or anything. It's like we're just like we're updating kind of the genre lampooning here. In this case, using Liam Neeson, who was in the beginnings of the genre that they're parroting, it's kind of a parody of the action genre, and like
Mhm.
some basically stuff that we got from the between the 2000s to the John Wick era. That's kind of like it's kind of what we're working with here. So it's kind of like from taking the John Wick, and that opening kind of summarizes that for me. I I love the few jokes. I find it the whole movie is just hilarious. I mean, it's kind of like the old. You can say this. The only criticism I have of the thing is not even a criticism. It's something that I think even the first Naked Gun has. When you rewatch that, it's the idea. It's kind of the laugh per minute ratio, where the logic is if something doesn't make you laugh, the next joke will. And there's a question of breathing room. I think this movie might have in comparison to the original, but it's a very narrow, very thin line. But its point being, they're very funny and they're too funny potentially. So not much of a criticism. I just I love the body cam joke so much. Just I love Buster Rhymes going, "Don't
Oh
do it,"
yes.
it's like as if it's an interactive movie or something. Sting operation thing. I think the funniest, the snowman's gold. I think the funniest joke potentially might be the TiVo gag. Just the way Liam Neeson delivers that, the betrayal over the TiVo. Still, just oh my god, just it's the gift. Honestly, it also this movie gives the gift of being able to see a Naked Gun movie in theaters. And if I understand, like this is a one-off, we're not getting others. I mean, it's really hard to do like, comedies like this in Hollywood that are actually good and actually of the quality of a Naked Gun film. I will say this, and this is not reason it's number 8, but it's just something that the behind the scenes on this it does bum me out that it sounds like they kind of shafted the Zuckers on this one just a little bit in terms of like their approach. Like they weren't consulted at all. Like basically there was an illusion of the consulting and then they never called them back, kind of a thing. That to me really but I still sincerely think they did right by this. There's only one joke that the Zuckers, so as far from they saw the trailer and that's it, is that the him and the schoolgirl thing, which even for me when I saw that trailer, until I saw it in context, it didn't work for me. But the way they played it was, I don't
The
know.
thing with that is I think Liam just sells the visual humor of that moment so
Yeah.
well.
Which again, in context, I just think it plays a lot better. The trailer is like it could be seen as an oh no moment, which it kind of was, but
Uh-huh.
in context, I think it plays. And I feel had they given the movie a chance, that they had not been a painful thing for him, I think they would have seen the movie was made very lovingly. And it said before I was involved in, he loved the original Megan. I think they would have seen that it was really a loving tribute to it, but updated for the times. And I think it was great.
All right. Cool beans. Okay, number 7. This might be a little like a little too low or a little too high, depending on like how you look at that. I don't know. How is it too low or too high if you don't think it's high enough on the list?
Too low.
Too low, yeah. Fucking grammar, dude. Anyway, sorry.
This podcast is not
no, but
brought to
this
you by
is
Grammarly.
This was definitely one of the movies that I had the most visceral reaction to coming out of the movie theater. It's done by one of the masters of the genre at the height of his powers. And to quote my, this is probably the best pull quote that I had the whole year. This is a cosmic shift for the superhero genre. And this movie does stuff that Zack Snyder's Superman couldn't possibly dream of. That's right, it's Superman. I mean, I'm sure this is Dragon. I'm guessing this is going to be very high on your list, which is totally fair. I love this movie as well. For me personally, I think this is my favorite Superman movie. Maybe if I grew up with the original, like the 1978 movie more, I saw it a couple times when I was a kid, but it wasn't like on constant rotation at my house. I think I caught it once or twice on TV when I was a kid. If I would have grown up with that more, maybe, but no, it's like I feel like this is just like it's everything that I love about the character. It's basically like the blue meth of Superman. It's just like everything that you love about the character diluted into just like one, just like crystal clear, just fucking high quality package. And I don't even know what else to say. The cast just delivers. They're rock solid. The production design really does a fantastic job of, feeling like DC, but still feeling like a different DC universe and building that universe out. James Gunn has a couple of his trademark needle drops that work really well. I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. That's all there is to say, I think, really. The Kents, the best fucking version of the Kents ever, I think. Even if they could have been in a little bit more of the movie, just there, yeah. I will say, I do think, like, on rewatches, I think the movie is maybe, like, a little bit overcrowded, which is sort of a James Gunn thing, where he wants to take, James Gunn very much has an everything in the kitchen sink approach to his casts for these superhero movies, but they all do a good job, though. It's not like any character is, like, overstaying their welcome, and I don't like the character. It's just, I don't know. I feel like at a couple points you're almost like, okay, is this a Superman movie or is this a Superman / Mr. Terrific movie? Like, I almost feel like Mr. Terrific somehow overshadows Superman in his own movie in some respects. But but like I said, that is kind of a James Gunn thing to kind of like take the weird character that no one's heard of and make them like the biggest standout of the whole movie. So yeah. That's about it. Okay. Kogia says can't put the new Superman film over Christopher Reeves or Superman Returns, but I do like it. I just wish that they didn't ruin Jor-El and make Lex Luthor so whiny. Yeah, both of those are. I mean, like I love this Lex. I don't like. I kind of like the fact that he's so pathetic. I think it fits the character really well. Jor-El is a controversial choice. I don't mind it, but I'm not really like that attached to the character. So I see what you're saying, though. All right, PerGron, number 7.
All right, I got a movie we already talked about a little bit. We got Ava Victor's directorial debut and writing debut. Sorry, Baby.
I had a feeling this would be kind of in similar spots for us.
Yeah, this is this one hit me, man. I saw this one in the theater, not knowing anything about it. Like, I genuinely thought it was about a girl and her cat because the trailer showed the cat, the poster showed the cat. I'm like, oh, it's like a cat movie. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Another Argyle.
Yeah.
This also takes place in the Argyle cinematic universe.
Right, yeah, it's this, Caught Stealing, and Argyle. It's a really weird trilogy. But no, the cat is like barely in the movie. It's really funny that it's all over the marketing. No, this is like a really
Well,
fucking
because it's not like they
emotional
can
movie.
really market the movie on what it's actually
Yeah.
about.
Hey, you want to watch a movie about SA and how traumatizing that is?
Oh,
No. All right. Well, Cat, I guess.
man.
But yeah, as a directorial debut, as a writer director, Ava Victor just fucking blew me out of the water with this one. Just like you said a lot of what I was gonna say, so I don't have a ton of extra to say.
Oh, no
But
problem.
genuinely, just like a heart wrenching movie. The cut that you're talking about, I knew exactly what cut you were talking about. It probably is one of the best editing moments of the year. Did this get in for editing at the Tiki's?
It's in the wild card
It's in the wild
category.
cards. Yeah,
So yeah, vote for it. It's coming up. It still hasn't. We still haven't voted on that one yet.
hasn't popped up yet. But yeah, I mean, just a great movie. I highly recommend it if you can stomach the subject material. If
But
not,
I
I
will say
totally
that the subject material, like, they don't do anything graphic with it. They
no
don't even
no.
talk
There's
about it in a graphic way.
yep no. There's it's definitely
It's
like
all about just kind of like exploring the emotional aftermath of something like that, and it's done in
right.
an incredibly thoughtful, incredibly like sensitive way.
Yeah, no. It's definitely like of the topic. It's definitely one of the better movies within it.
Mhm.
Like that handles it with tact
Yeah,
and respect. But yeah, I just a really phenomenal movie, and it had to end up making its way into my top 10.
cool. All right, Dragon.
All right, my number 7. It's it's Nana's.
Was what now? Sorry.
That's it's new. It's Nana's. It's
Oh
the movie.
God.
Yeah. So
Oh boy. To be fair, I haven't watched this.
It's
yeah,
actually pretty
You've
good.
watched this.
that's the
It's
thing.
it.
I told him how good it was. He didn't watch it, but I told him.
It. I mean, it's not going to be in my top 10, but it's a cute movie.
Well, you saw like almost 300 movies. Of course, it's not going to be. You didn't even watch. Anyway. So yeah, this is an under the radar biopic. I'm head over heels for, frankly. It's a Netflix movie with Vince Vaughn. Basically, it's based on a true story. It's basically there's an Italian guy in New York who's trying to honor the memory of his mother and his nonna. His nonna is basically it's Italian for grandmother. And he's trying to basically do it. They love to cook. It's very much it's kind of an Italian tradition. Many households, usually the women. A lot of times, the men and the women can cook, but especially the grandmothers love to cook. So the idea, nonnas are some of the best cooks. So which his mother inherited. He had a great appreciation for him, which we have in a lovely flashback that starts the movie that just kind of gets you right in the feels. And he tries doing a restaurant to kind of honor, and then basically the concept is like, hey, let's hire Italian grandmothers to be the cooks at the restaurant to make the best quality food in the neighborhood, and that's kind of our gimmick. It's very charming. It's very charming, and it's coming from a very sweet and sincere place. It's got a fantastic cast. We have Lorraine Bracco. We got Talia Shire. I love Talia Shire in the movie. Got Linda Cardellini as kind of the love interest. Just got good people, and of course the wonderful Joe Manganiello. Pee Wee Herman approved. Joe Manganiello. It's I don't know. There's something kind of nostalgic about the movie. I don't know. Just I got a soft spot for plus with biopics. I have a soft spot for the starting the small business film. I just kind of like it. Thought it was well done. I thought, I recommend it like I recommend The Intern. It's the feel good. It's just that great. It's that really, it's pleasantries the movie. It's the feel good movie. It's an Intern is by definition pleasantries the movie. This is kind of in the ballpark.
Uh-huh.
If I'd say, look, honestly, that's the way I could recommend this to anybody, especially you, Mister. I'll get to it later. It's if you're close with your grandmother or you like food, I think you'd really like the movie.
All right. Well, I'm close with my grandparents, so that does sell me a little bit.
And I know you, Mr. Foodie,
Sure.
All right. So, Nona's.
Okay, number 6 for me. I'm honestly, guys, I'm still like even right now as we're talking about it. I'm going back and forth on like what movie should be in my top 5, and I'm going back and forth on what movie should be my number 1 and my number 2, and I'm struggling. Like
Yeah, it gets
the ones
tricky.
in the middle are pretty locked in, but yeah, this fuck me. Is it going to be the one that's the more obvious pick, or is it going to be the one that's like the dark horse that blew me away more? I'll go with the more obvious pick for number 6. And I don't really. PerGron, you pretty much said everything that I wanted to say about it, so we're even in that regard. One battle after another.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, like you hit the nail on the head, PerGron, where it's like the cast is so good that Leo ends up kind of becoming almost an afterthought. Like, not to say he's bad at it, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right.
Who's
Leo's
the guy from The Departed again?
Leo. But yeah, I think that this movie, like the pacing for this thing is the most impressive part about the whole film for me. Just the whole like it just goes at such a breakneck speed, and it's what like almost 3 hours long, right, PerGron?
Yeah.
Like a little bit shy of 3 hours.
A little bit shy, yeah.
And it does not feel that way at all. Like this thing feels like a
No,
fucking
this-
like 80-minute movie. It doesn't even feel like a 90-minute movie. Like
No,
it just,
this,
it
like-
just moves.
I got out of the theater and it was dark, and I'm like, wait, what? I was in there for like 30 minutes. What are you talking about? This was a short film.
So yeah, I mean, and just culturally, I really like how it has a lot to say about politics, but it doesn't really spell anything out one way or another. Like I feel like the themes can be interpreted in a lot of ways, and believe it or not, it does actually criticize people on both sides, which is, like, shocker, you can make a political movie that does do that and have it be nuanced.
Yeah, what I liked about it is it kind of felt like a civil war in that way from last year, but
like
done
much,
well.
much, much better.
Yeah,
Civil War just fucking beat you over the head.
Yeah, like it actually takes a stand where Civil War did not, while also beating you over the head. Where this was like, no, here's where here's where we like what our perspective is, but you can go too far, which I appreciated.
Exactly.
Where Civil War was like, everybody should just love each other and be kumbaya all the time. I didn't like Civil War.
My last note on this is that I don't think I've seen anyone else besides me say this, but I will go ahead and say it again. I think that Sean Penn's character in this movie is basically like the live action R-rated version of Frollo in a modern context.
I can see that argument, yeah.
And I love it. I love it. All right, PerGron, you're number 6.
My number 6 is another movie you already talked about. We got Superman. I kind of like you. I was going back and forth on which one ends up number 6, which one ends up number 5. Superman is the movie I've watched second most this year, like on rewatch. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times at this point, and yeah, I fucking love it. It's the best Superman movie in my opinion. I also did not grow up with the Christopher Reeve Superman. I think I've seen the first one once and none of the sequels. So I'm not very attached to that. I'm not very attached to him as Superman. I hate Zack Snyder with a fucking fiery passion of 1,000 tons.
Well, at least you got something right.
So I liked Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill as an actor. I think he was a fine enough looking Superman. I thought he was not the character of Superman.
But when he was allowed to act like Superman, he was good.
But
he was really good. The problem with Henry Cavill Superman was always the writing.
It's that he was not allowed to be Superman.
Right.
This felt like Superman. This was the Superman that the comics I read growing up. And most importantly, I think that this is the superhero movie we need in this day and age. because it's not about like, oh, we're saving the world as much as it is like, no, hope is important. Being a good person is important. Being kind is important. And
You know
as
what? You know what's funny is that it almost harkens back to fucking Superman and the Mole Men, where the message of that movie is, to quote Cosmonaut Pictures show, who just put out a Superman video, like, "Hey man, we should all be nice to each other and stuff. These mole people don't need to die just because they're different."
yeah, like that's genuine. Like it. Like I loved when they're fighting the kaiju and he's trying to find ways to save it. To like
Saving the fucking squirrel, dude. I mean that
yeah,
that is like one of the most quintessential Superman moments in
that
any
was
movie
my
ever.
favorite scene in the whole movie because it felt like Superman. He saves not just the little girl everyone was talking about in the trailer. He saves a squirrel. That is as fucking Boy Scout as you can get. It's no surprise that I love James Gunn as a director. It's no surprise that I mean, Guardians was my number one movie of 2023. Like
that's across the board. All three of us had it as number one.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I think James Gunn. I think DC is in good hands so long as Netflix doesn't, Netflix it up. And I think that I would be happy to see more from this universe, and I do hope we continue to get it. And I'm very excited for Supergirl. I am incredibly excited for Supergirl.
Okay, Dragon.
All right, my number 6. This is the part of the podcast where Kogi, as anime fan, it perks up. By the way, it's want to prepare everyone for that. Okay, nope. So number 6 for me, K-pop Demon Hunters.
There we go. There we go. Hey, look.
All right, somebody got it in there.
Yeah, someone likes it. No, I like it. It's just not, it's not a movie for me.
No, you two are looking for reasons not to put it on.
It's just becoming a bit that Tiki and I hate this movie.
It's ridiculous to hate it because it's popular. It's stupid.
Neither of us hate it, is the thing. Like, I very much do not hate this movie.
I enjoy it. It's just I am not one of those people that like is going to like base my whole life around it. And the fact that there are a lot of people that kind of base their whole personality around it, it's kind of like, okay.
I mean, it got K-pop in that way.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Anyway, so look, I was skeptical of the film because I didn't give a fig.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was skeptical of the film because generally I never gave a fig about K-pop. I didn't care. It's like, what the heck is K-pop? It's usually what my response was to what K-pop is. But until until I gave it a watch, just honestly, it was on a whim. It was like, well, I don't know, Netflix doing like the carousel thing, and they're playing like the clip, and then I kind of saw the animation style and kind of perked up a little. I was like, oh my god, wait a minute, K-pop Demon Hunters was like one of the Sony films that was animated in the Spider-Verse style, kind of like Spider-Verse, Mitchell's versus Machines, and so on and so forth. Like, okay, let's give it a watch. Let's see if the hype's real. And I was very impressed with it. It's the most attention I've ever given K-pop. I love the characters. I love the premise. It's kind of like it's going to be a weird comparison that some people might roll their eyes at. It's kind of like a cinematic version of Totally Spies, but better.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah, I can see that argument.
Yeah. It's the music's pretty good. Apparently, I'm sure you guys have apparently it's becoming like the new Frozen with kids.
Yes, it is.
In case that flew over anyone's head, it's kind of becoming the new Frozen. There's a lot of buzz, but I think not to the point of obsession, but I think the buzz is warranted. I think there's a good film here. Now, I want to be clear. I don't think it's perfect. But my critique is very minimal, though. My issue is the hang-up I have is that the third act resolution, I still have no idea where that leaves our status quo. And especially if they're going to try and revisit this and possibly run into the ground. Hopefully that isn't the case, but this thing did really well. We saw what happened with Frozen. I have concerns. My point is,
Netflix needs a new Stranger Things, too. They need another thing to run into the
I'm just saying there are concerns, but hopefully, hopefully it works out. I mean, I'm especially given it's like a Sony, it's a Sony animated thing. I mean, we know again the wait times and the anticipations and the sequels. It delays and back-breaking labor on animators happens. I don't want to put an animator in the hospital like my hands. I don't want to do that to them. Anyway, my point being, I wish it was a little bit more clear, like what we're saying with like the status quo at the end. It's not even that I'm not even saying it's like not there, but it's just I don't think it's clear enough. And I still don't get it. Like we're like what we're saying, like are we still hunting the demons given what we've learned? Are we not? If we're not hunting demons, what is the sequel gonna do? I don't know. But like I said, we're again, I'm worried we might it might be milking the cash cow going forward with this. But as a one-off, I think it's spectacular. I think it's a spectacular one-off, and I'm glad it's getting its flowers. But at some point, it's like, what am I gonna do with all these dead flowers? That's kind of that's kind of thing. It's like getting all the flowers. It's like, well, now what? Like, what am I gonna do? That just keeps piling on. They're starting to smell up the place, and not in a good way. As you can see with these two guys, these filthy film animals here. Look at them.
Filthy film bros.
Yeah. Wearing their hats backwards and the I Love Kubrick T-shirts, like they bumping each other's chest.
Yeah. All right, Kogias is saying, I do feel happy that K-Pop Demon Hunters is on Dragon's list because I think that it's one of the greatest animated films that I've ever seen, and one of the best films in general. K-Pop Demon Hunters and Frozen are about equal quality, in my opinion.
I agree with that second part. For what it is.
Right. Maybe not as glowing of an endorsement as Code Geass is probably like wanting it to be, but yeah.
See, Code Geass is actually in the movie. He's one of the various Huntrix fans.
Oh God.
But they love their fans, so we love Code Geass.
Okay, number 5, I know for a fact, unless Dragon is gonna like fucking shock me, but no, I know basically for a fact that this is I'm the only one who has this on their list. For me, it was the most surprising movie of the year. I had next to no idea what it actually was, what I was walking into. And literally from the opening scene to the title drop all the way to the ending, it had me. It's one of the most unpredictable movies of the year. It's Twinless, baby. And it's funny that I say it's one of the most unpredictable movies of the year when I really do. Like, PerGron, I know that you didn't really vibe with this as much as me, specifically because of the whole, the liar revealed thing. But for me, I almost kind of feel like this is like a subversion of the liar revealed. This is like liar revealed if the liar revealed thing was actually done in a way that's like fresh. And I don't know, man. Like, I just think that there's certain elements about this movie. There's certain directions that the plot goes, certain choices the characters make, certain realizations that this movie hits you with that are generally just some of the biggest left turns of any film this year. I think Dylan O'Brien is spectacular in this movie. I think he might be the actual like objective best person to pull off the two roles, because I think him playing playing the twin brother who died and then playing the main character, like there's such a different energy between those two characters, and you can really tell the kind of like the longing to have that dynamic, to have that sibling bond, and the way that the other character exploits that. I don't really want to say too much because Dragon, I really do think that this is a movie that you'd get into, and like I said, there are just a lot of twists and turns here in this movie that I don't really want to give away, and a lot of the twists and turns, like they start like very early in the movie, and they don't really let up. This is a very very twist-filled movie for me personally. I love some of the natural, like not set design, but some of the location shooting they do. PerGron, did you know that they shot some of this in a Meow Wolf?
Did they really?
Yeah, the weird kind of like abstract museum that they go to. That is a Meow Wolf. So yeah, I don't know. Just for me, it was. I feel like this is going to really stand up there as one of the most unique original movies of the year. I think it's definitely really funny in some respects, but it also just kind of had me holding my breath. I think it accomplishes what the best liar revealed story should accomplish, which is like you're not dreading you're not dreading the reveal. You're not dreading the reveal coming out because it's just going to be like, okay, like the cliche, like third act breakup. No, like you're dreading the reveal because you get genuinely like invested in the characters, in both the characters, even the character that's doing the lie, and you don't want to see it fall apart for either of their sakes. And so it's very much a tightrope walk, a tight wire act of just kind of like empathy, but also like accountability. I don't know. For me, this really did it for me. I walked out of this movie like genuinely stunned. So yeah, take that for what you will.
Fair enough.
PerGron, this might be our Hamnet, right? Is that fair to say?
No, because I didn't hate it. I I won't
I
bully
didn't
you
hate
about
Hamnet
it.
either.
I won't.
Look, with my Hamnet shit, I'm joshing on it. All right, I'm joshing on it. I don't hate it.
You
Like
mercilessly mock
I'm
Hamnet.
playing it up. It's a bit. Also, I'm just now realizing that I did not make room in my list for Song Sung Blue, which is a movie that I loved. Um, if I could legitimately like swap out something like I don't know, maybe Sorry Baby to put it on my top 10. Like I liked it that much. But it's too late now. Oh well. But I'm just now realizing that. Anyways, PerGron, you're number 5.
All right, my number 5 is going to be "Wake Up, Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery."
Yeah, I'm the only one to not have this on their list, and I liked it quite a bit. For me it was pretty easily I don't even want to say the weakest, but probably my least favorite of the Knives Out movies, but I still really liked it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think this is my favorite of the Knives Out movies. I don't know that I'd say it's the best, but I do think it's my favorite. That part of that comes from growing up with Catholic guilt. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I thought all the performances here, minus Mila Kunis, who why the fuck was she in this movie?
Especially after the Danny Matheson stuff, man.
Yeah, but everybody else was just phenomenal. I thought Josh Brolin was phenomenal here. Of course, Benoit Blanc is. I need more Knives Out movies with Benoit Blanc injected
Benoit Blanc should just
directly
be a
into my
supporting
veins.
character in every movie.
Yeah, I want him injected directly into my veins. I
He
like
should
it
literally be like a Jay and Silent Bob type character where he just randomly pops up
just
and
shows
shit.
up. Imagine just like you're watching the next fucking Avengers movie and he's just like,
God.
so you're telling me that Thanos. um no, I think he's phenomenal. And Josh O'Connor, I mean, he blew me away in Challengers,
Oh,
but he continues to just like, oh my god, why is this dude not like a Timothy Chalamet or a Jacob
yeah,
Elordi,
yeah.
right? This guy should absolutely be
I
in.
like Jacob Elordi a lot, but I definitely think like between the two of them, Josh
Yeah,
O'Connor's got it. Yeah.
like he should absolutely be in that like young actor kind of craze, like in that little group of like really solid young actors.
Uh-huh.
Um, Glenn Close is phenomenal here. Not that Glenn Close has ever not been phenomenal. Um, and then like even the kind of the more bit parts, like Jeremy Renner, I thought was very funny in the movie.
I think
Kaylee
that was probably
Spady,
my main issue with the movie is just the fact that like the ensemble cast
yeah,
didn't feel as fully formed as it did in the other movies where besides like the main 3 or 4 like Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close for the most part,
uh-huh.
the rest of them kind of fade into the background a little bit.
See, I had that same issue with the first Knives Out, where it's very much Daniel Craig, um, girl whose name I can never fucking remember. Um,
What do you mean, Anna de Armas?
yeah, Ana de Armas and Chris Hemsworth. It's very much like
Uh-huh.
the three of them are the movie. But yeah, I mean, I really liked the setting here. I really liked the mystery. I think this was the most fun mystery of the three to kind of unravel. At least for me personally. Um, and just I need more of these movies. I want Ryan Johnson to never stop making them.
I
Like
want
he,
him to. I mean,
Agreed.
I agree that I think it's a lucrative franchise, and he shouldn't stop making them. I'd like to see Ryan Johnson do something else in
no,
between it.
absolutely, he should do other things.
Just
But I
every
Yeah,
now
want
and
one,
again.
yeah, I want one of these like every like 5 years. Just
right, right.
give me one every 5 years. Give me
Just when
two a
he's
decade.
bored, when he wants to
Yeah,
go on vacation, let's just do like the Sandler version, but good. He wants to go on
yeah,
vacation. People, let's make a movie, guys. It's
because
on me. It's on the
I need
studio.
I need to see the next group of actors that he gets in there. I need to see more Benoit Blanc. Um, but yeah, I had a really good time with this one.
Cool, cool. Right, Dragon.
All right, number 5. Okay, so I want to just re-emphasize top 5 is always very difficult, and there's going to be a lot of shifting. It's the fact that they made it in the top 5, and any of them, in theory, could be number 1. Okay, this was a very hard choice for me. Uh, Not just a goof. Number 5.
Mm.
Yeah, I knew from the outset when I first saw this it would make the top 5. I didn't know where because again, there's always the question of what other things are going to impress because this came out in like April, and like it was like there's a lot of stuff that we weren't even in the summer yet. Anyway, so Goofy movie, Toy Story, they hit 30 years last year, and Goofy movie historically still ridiculously enough lacks bonus features, so this was desperately needed. It's one of the Goofy movie is like one of the nostalgic classics, not just a nostalgic classic that made everyone love Goofy. If they didn't already love him, it made Goofy like the household name for the next generation onward.
Uh-huh.
Have it's basically it's basically Waking Sleeping Beauty for one film, and it helps that Don Hahn, he produced the film, and he was kind of the godfather to the film. They kind of allowed it to happen, so that's kind of why it kind of got the push that it did. There's a lot of personal father son connections within the within the documentary. I think really adds a lot of nice kind of threads and just kind of a nice kind of pathos, undercurrent of pathos in the doc. Jeffrey Katzenberg, always one of the most interesting characters in any Disney documentary, any animation documentary. We caricature him in some really funny ways. He is, he's central to greenlighting all the '90s films that we love from pretty much all the '90s films that we love from Disney, even if he wasn't around for the fruition of the process. And he's kind of when I rewatched the movie, which I've done several times, which is why this thing makes the top 5 as well. He's kind of like the father figure to the movie. If you look at it, he's
Is
kind of the father. He was very much the father figure to a Goofy movie, and kind of in the crux of the story that we're telling with these kind of talking about father figures and the father son dynamic. And Kevin Lima, his archive is amazing. I love that he's in there, and I love it's very sit down conversation with the guy in his home. He's got like one of the coolest houses ever. He's got like Kermit the Frog in there, everything. The Iron Giant, like Mondo figure. I love it. So I just find this thing very rewatchable. It's touching. It's one of my go-to Disney documentaries for sure. It's a spin-off of Wake and Sleeping Beauty practically. So what's not to love? Just more like this, please. Desperately Disney. More documentaries like this.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. I actually shit. Sorry guys, let me see. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay. My number 4, this is again one of my biggest surprises of the year, and I want to emphasize at this point, the top 4 of the year, these are like for me, they're stone cold classics. All 4 of these movies are going to be stone cold classics for me. They're going to be some of the best movies of the 2020s. They're movies that kind of define the year, movies that I can totally see myself going back to. So, even though Twinless made the top 5, it's not a movie like I kind of think that now that I know the twists of Twinless, I don't necessarily know how much rewatch value that's going to have. But these four are just like rewatch city for sure. Just yeah. So with that in mind, number 4, probably the biggest surprise of the year for me. I went in literally knowing next to nothing about it. It's Train Dreams, baby. Because this is like the low hanging fruit joke that I, as an autistic comedian, would make is like, this is every autistic person's favorite movie of the year. No, but for me, one of the things that this movie really, really hit on, like right off the bat, that I just absolutely love about the movie is the narration. The narration can be hit or miss, but like I think this year has had it's been like almost like a renaissance of narration in movies between we have Nick Offerman in The Life of Chuck. He just did a killer narration in that movie. We have the little girl from Weapons, who like is one of the reasons why that movie's as high on my list as it is. And yeah, I just think this Will Patton as the narrator. I mean, he just gets that kind of like his presence in the movie, his vocal presence in the movie, makes the whole film kind of take on this like great American novel sort of feel to it. And there's just so much texture to this thing. There's so much life to this thing. There's so much like I've always been very surface level with Terrence Malick. Like I kind of respect Terrence Malick for what he does, but I've never really loved any of the stuff that I've watched from him. This is like a much more accessible Terrence Malick that still does some very, very powerful messaging with the movie. Like, but I feel like the messages in this movie are so much more simple, so much more like just kind of like broad spectrum, like meaning of life sort of stuff, but in a digestible way. Joel Edgerton is just absolutely fucking fantastic in this movie. He just like easily one of the best performances just as far as capturing like a whole life on screen. Just like you see this guy go from like his early 20s to what, like his 70s or something by the end of the movie, and it's very believable the whole time. I mean, obviously you have some, hair and makeup is also kind of partially to thank for that, but still the guy's mannerisms, the guy's body language, it also just sells it for sure. William H. fucking Macy has one of the best like low screen time supporting performances I've seen in quite a while. He makes just a huge impression on the movie, on the story, on the world, in just like a couple scenes, and it's a phenomenal supporting performance. The music is sublime. The cinematography, as I mentioned, is great. The framing devices are really like the way that it's being told, like almost kind of out of sequence, but it doesn't really matter. It's very much told in the way of like somebody looking back on their life. So it's got kind of like an organic clip to the storytelling. Yeah, I just love it. I don't think I'm gonna rewatch this as much as my top 3. And so that's probably the only reason why I have it like at 4 and not higher. But it's fantastic. Like genuinely one of the best endings of the year. Absolutely. Just there's so many good things about it. So many good things about it. Dragon, I don't know if it's your type of movie. I really don't, but I like for me, it really landed. All right, everyone.
All right, my number 4 is going to be If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
All right.
This was, I've said it a couple times that it's a cortisol movie. This is the cortisol movie.
Yeah.
I was so fucking stressed out.
You have to hold your fucking breath watching this movie.
What was that?
I said you have to hold your breath watching this movie.
This was such a fucking difficult movie to get through. And I say that so positively.
Right.
This movie, kind of in the same way that Marty Supreme is, takes a bunch of like non-actors and puts them into roles that work really, really well for them. Like you get Conan O'Brien, who I mean, I fucking love Conan O'Brien anyway. Um, but he is in a role that is so against type for anything I've ever seen from Conan. You get ASAP Rocky, who I'm familiar with maybe a song from him,
Right,
and
right.
he is fucking phenomenal in this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we know Rose Byrne's an amazing actress, but she is basically on screen the entire movie. I don't know that there's a scene where she's not on screen. And
I don't think so.
the camera is so close up to her fucking face the entire time. Like this is very handheld shaky cam. It's very up close shots. You do not get a moment to breathe in this movie. Even all of the times you laugh, and there are plenty of funny moments, you're laughing not because it's relief. You're laughing kind of in the same way that you laugh when your day cannot get worse and
Right,
somehow
right,
does.
right. Yeah.
Like there's a moment in this at the very beginning of the movie where you're already stressed out and then the fucking ceiling caves in and it's like, yeah, okay, sure. And it's very much the kind of laugh that is like, how could things get worse? And then they continue to get worse. I love the choice to not put the little girl on screen throughout most of the movie. I love the choice to have them in this motel for a lot of it. Just overall, just a phenomenal movie. I didn't expect much out of it. I didn't know what I expected out of it. And I came out of this movie like, I love that so much, I never want to watch it again.
Right, right. Okay, Dragon.
About number 4, John Candy, I Like Me.
All right.
I need to see this. This is still one
It's
I need to
really
catch up on.
good. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. It was
It
my
is.
number 2
I've heard nothing but
documentary
really
of
good
the year.
things about it.
So it was so again, this one, it was a lot of
Dragon, if it
shuffling
makes you
between,
feel better, I did start watching Selling Superman, and it's fucking fantastic. So,
right?
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So as you can tell, there was a lot of shuffling between not just the Goof and John Candy, I Like Me for the top doc. It's very close because I mean, there's the thing, I've rewatched not just the Goof a lot of times. I didn't have to rewatch John Candy, I Like Me. I will, mind you. I'm just saying I didn't have to because it was really good. I like I said, it's very hard ranking the documentaries and figuring out where the documentaries go in the top 5 because sometimes the documentary really blow me out of the water and might even make the number 1 spot, but then you have the other movies that are really impressive, so it just kind of you have to put it somewhere. So this is what I mean with the whole interchangeable thing, where this movie might legitimately be like Jeremy Johns put this at like his number 2 for like the year. So I'm saying this thing is really good. It's the "Won't You Be My Neighbor" documentary of last year, of 2025. Of course, we'll get the Oscar. We know that already. We don't even need to watch it. Just skip past that part of the ceremony. We just like all the good movies. I want to see if the Oscars. Here are the movies that we're not going to give the award to. Just give them the attention, and then just move on. Say, but we're not going to give them an award because we hate both. No. We're just going to go with whatever's timely, but not timely in a sense that's actually going to matter. Just timely in the sense of war is bad, or just
Literally, the past like 3 or 4 have just been like, "Hey, Israel Palestine kind of sucks." Am I right?
It's either war is bad or we like other cultures. That's usually what it boils down to in terms of,
Right,
it's
right.
like, we know this, but we don't need to can we talk about an actual movie people would like to watch? That's what, anyway. So, they get a little heated about the Oscar documentary category, as does Tiki, but you can kind of feel that in the room. Anyway, so this is a lovely tribute and reflection on John Candy, who was basically a saint of a Canadian. I mean, they're all kind of saints over there, but this guy was like the saint of Canadians.
Not Kevin O'Leary.
Not that guy, but every other. The point being, this guy's like the patron saint of Canadians. I love. There's like a ticking clock. It's more of a timeline. Because you could say ticking clock, but it's kind of like a timeline done via a ticking clock, where we're kind of inching forward in time and in the story. There's like this timeline device in the movie I found very effective. It was a really good in terms of structurally. I really liked it because it adds tension. Despite that, initially, it's it's kind of light and just kind of like, John Candy, that delightful a man, and let's explore the man's roles. But really, it's behind the scenes, and we're seeing just kind of how much of him he brought into the roles. And Colin Hanks and Ryan Reynolds, they were the people behind this documentary. Ryan Reynolds really championed it, and Colin Hanks directed the heck out of it. I think Ryan Reynolds conducted the interviews. He landed the granddaddy of interviews right off the bat. Bill Murray, big get, because the man's like Bigfoot. There's like documentaries dedicated to the phenomenon of getting Bill Murray
Right.
to sit down for anything. He'll just show up, crash weddings in a fun way, but he'll do it. So strong start right off the gate, right out the bat with that. Just he's just he's. I related to this lauded man. I really did. Just the fact that he was, he had the anxiety and the existential dread that he had. I can absolutely relate to. That's what he grappled with. That life is a ticking clock. It's like Charlie from All Dogs Go to Heaven. That's essentially the existential dread that he had. It's like the little pocket watch that's ticking, and it's ticking down, like when you're saving the little girl. That's essentially what John Candy's life was.
Uh-huh.
And I just I just love that. Here's what really sells it for me here ultimately is the fact that you're so enthralled in a story that in the back of your head, because it's we kind of know the guy, and we know he died young, is that it's a story that is not going to have a happy ending, but you're so distracted by the man, it's like you kind of forget it until it's too late, which I think is that's the hat trick of falling in love, with the man along the way. And I think we just exemplify that so well with this documentary. This is like a required watch for 2025. Tiki, you haven't entered 2026 until you watch this movie.
Yeah,
No, it's a really solid doc. It was my number 2 of the documentaries for the year.
So right now, Tiki, for you, this is 2026 in quotes until you watch this movie.
Sure.
You have to put quotes on all your checks and whatever things you date now until you watch the movie. You gotta add people are gonna think you're being really sarcastic.
Reagan, I think it's fair to say that there's some Oscar contenders I haven't seen yet that are kind of above this as far as
change your plans, man. Put this at the top.
All right. Yeah, PerGron, that one movie theater that was showing Surratt, it literally showed it for one fucking day. Damn. Drives me crazy. Anyways. And that's a movie I really want to see in theaters. Anyways, okay. Speaking of movies that are really good theatrical experiences, this is the movie that kind of saved movie theaters in some ways, saved original filmmaking for sure. It's Sinners, baby. And here's the thing, obviously it's a masterpiece. Obviously, I feel like this movie is just, it's probably going to go down the same way something like The Dark Knight sort of defines the year 2008. I think this movie probably will define the year 2025 as far as just original visions, executed very, very well. I mean, PerGron, I assume that this is going to be even higher on your list. The performances across the board are fantastic. The score might be the single best score of the year. The I Lied to You song number is just bold, audacious filmmaking at its absolute best. I think my one hang up with this movie, and the reason why it's not in the top 2, why I couldn't put it past the other 2 movies that I have, and at this point, y'all can probably do the math and know what my top 2 are.
I got your top 2.
It probably wasn't even. It probably you could probably guess my top 2 from when we did the last list. Honestly,
my thing was just, is it going to be Sinners or Weapons at number 2?
Yeah, no. I mean, but my only hang up with it is that I do feel in the third act it goes a little bit too comic booky as far as the action and stuff. I do very much think that as good as the vampire stuff is, I think the set dressing is even better. Just the getting all the characters in place and the sense of time and stuff. unfortunately, I am one of those people where I do think the ending, it works. I just think it's a little bit clunky how it almost kind of like, there's no real like final frame it ends on. It just kind of like transitions in and out of the post-credit scenes, which for me is like almost, I know that's like a very nitpicky thing, but I don't know. It's just like, the movie ends and then we have that mid-credit scene and then it fades out again. And then we have the post-credit scene at the end. The ending's just not as concrete and definitive. Now, keep in mind, my number 2 movie, there's going to be another issue with ending. So that's, but still.
Okay.
So that pretty much spoiled like my number 2 and number 1 are that right there. But okay. Sinners, absolute banger of a movie. Just for me, didn't quite like. Obviously, it's in my top 3. It's one of the best of the year for sure. Just didn't quite reach that like upper echelon. Where the other 2, I will say, are movies I'm gonna watch again and again and again, basically forever. So. All right, PerGron.
All right. My number 3 is another movie we've talked about already, Train Dreams.
Yep.
I absolutely adored Train Dreams, and now you have my top 2. And you probably know what order they're in as well. Train Dreams was fucking phenomenal, and I did not expect... I knew nothing about this movie. I went into this not knowing anything. Unfortunately, I did not get a theatrical release to this. After watching this, I was like...
I feel like I kind of lucked out. It was only in theaters for maybe a weekend, and I just happened to catch it.
Yeah, I was so bummed because, oh my God, seeing this on a theater would have... It might have gone even higher if I saw this in a theater. It genuinely is that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you already said it all, but holy fuck. This thing was great. I think Felicity Jones, for her part, was amazing. That's one thing you didn't mention.
No, for sure.
Joel Edgerton, of course, was phenomenal. It's heartbreaking, but it's not like misery porn, as you put it, for another movie we'll talk about later.
Foreshadowing is a literary device. Yada yada.
Kerry Condon was also very good in a little tiny part. But yeah, no, William H. Macy was the standout coming out of this movie. I didn't love the ending as much as you did, but I think that was mostly because I wanted to just continue staying in the world.
Right, that's fair.
I think it was like, I love the turn of the century. It's why I love The Lighthouse. It's why I love like things just set around that period. I was having fun with this guy just being a timberman in the woods. But yeah, no, this is it's a movie that came out of nowhere. It's a movie I knew nothing about going into it, and it pretty quickly jumped into my top 3, and it stayed there the rest of the year.
Yep, for sure. All right, Dragon.
All right, my number 3, again, top 3. Very hard to place, but number 3 is Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
If I were a betting man, I would have bet good money that this would have been your number 1, Dragon.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd be out of money.
All right, go ahead, Dragon.
That's what you get for getting specific with the roulette wheel, PerGron. It's always colors or odds or even.
Dragon, I genuinely think this might be the first year that we've done this where you haven't had a superhero movie as your number 1.
Did you just say it's the first year?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Okay, what other
one year I had Happy Joy, like the Ren Snoopy stories in them.
Oh, okay, right.
I've had years that do not have superhero films. Way to box me in.
Well, I mean, it is kind of your brand.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Mr. Judgy.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have Dragon's top 2 now. I gotta think on this.
Well, I know one of them because it's in the thumbnail, but I genuinely cannot think of the other one.
Godoy. Yeah, okay. No, I got it.
Okay, stop trying to figure it out. Just only talk about it.
Okay.
All right, so number 3, Superman. Um, so again, there was a lot of pressure on this film, and I think James Gunn did a wonderful job. A lot of people were either rooting for him to fail or just hoping it would go over well, and I think he did right by Superman. I think it's a great cinematic launching point for his DCU. It was very well thought out, which I appreciate. This feels like classic Superman. He basically, the best way I can describe the James Gunn Superman, kind of what he's presented. Obviously, there's his own stuff in the DNA of this thing, but I think in terms of like what Superman this feels like, it really feels like the Grant Morrison Superman crossed with the My Adventures with Superman. Superman. They're it feels like a really healthy combination of those two, which is like the one where it's kind of our modern take of Superman, where we're kind of like challenging things, and but we're also staying kind of faithful to who he is at his core, along with like the great Silver Age stuff, but with kind of the James Gunn kind of thought process attached to it. So it's a little bit like a lot of All Star Superman Grant Morrison mixed in with My Adventures without being necessarily verbatim. There's a lot of elements of Grant Morrison. When you went to the movie, they gave you an issue of All Star Superman #1. If that's not telling you something, I don't know what is. But yeah, just again, like in general, like some of the best Superman, now that we've in recent years that we've gotten, I think are kind of those two things, and kind of brought kind of a live action kind of amalgamation of that with a different kind of wrapping, you know, with this movie. We took a big swing with the origin story, which I respect. I know it's not gonna tickle everybody, but I think it's kind of in line with kind of where My Adventures with Superman kind of was maybe going. We didn't
Mhm.
ultimately go there, and James Gunn basically he fully went there. So I mean, I was open to it because of that, and I respect the big swing. And again, I like the minutia in the swing, which I hope maybe the sequel will capitalize on. Like the getting into it. I think we have a fantastic Lex performance. I mean, could be a definitive Lex. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's really good. I mean, not counting Clancy Brown, of course, in terms of live action Lex. That's a definitive Lex. Anyway, I mean, a little bit. My gripes with the Superman movie, and I think the reason why it like is more kind of number 3, if I had to find some of that, these are quibbles. I think we're trying a little I think he's trying a little hard on the third act action. You can kind of see it in the direction. In general, it's like I saw this movie with my father. He loves the original Superman. He likes superhero movies. He likes Superman. He's more of a obviously he's obsessed with the Iron Man movies, but beyond that, he it really does show like the third. I had like a good litmus test for this Superman. Is that for him, he liked the movie, but there's a lot going on in the third act, and it kind of lost him a little bit. And I think there's
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's like a reason to really ding the movie, but it's just kind of like, yeah, there is a lot going on there. And I can see James Gunn. He's again, he's going a little hard on the camera angles and everything. Like during that fight, he's like, James, we know you know how to work the camera. But it's like that, and like the thing that caused him all the grief in the trailer, like the whole like he's like the GoPro flying thing, which is like I don't think we needed that with Superman. It's we could have had him fly any number of other ways. It's not bad, but it's just he's just trying to. It feels like he's going to a lot of jumping through a lot of hoops to be a little different, and it worked for him. So all power to him. And it's not. I don't have any gripes against it, but it's just it's just these like, James, what you're doing is good enough. Don't take a rest for a little bit. Okay, you did good. You did great. Anyway, but then I have like things like for me like if I could change just one thing about the movie, I don't want Superman saying dude. It's the only inauthentic thing that Superman does. It's the only thing. Superman shouldn't say dude. And like little like Perry White. Why is he having a cigar indoors if he can't light it because of the whole smoking codes of today? It's like why even give him the cigar? I don't know. Anyway, so let's see. Anyway, at the end of the day, like I love the whole message of kindness is the new punk rock. I love that. I think it's a great note that we end the movie on. I think it's like in the DNA of the film, and it's basically if I had to put a kind of a bow on it, said ushering us into a new era of this film. I think takes great strides in ushering us into a new era of Superman that is not about scary, intense heat vision, serious look on his face Superman. Like when I try and get Superman merchandise, I don't have a lot of Superman stuff for the very simple reason I don't want. To me, Superman isn't like look at the heat vision. He's looking really serious, like he's about to fight somebody. Like that's not Superman. That's the only merchandise that they make. And before that, the only other thing alternative is just the logo. Which I mean, it's fine, but I want like a happy Superman. I want a Superman saving people. I want a smiley Superman. I want the Christopher Reeve waving to you as he's flying at the end of the movie Superman. And this, I mean, James Gunn, he made Superman, cool again, for the right reasons. And this is like getting us a Superman that is not about, like this the surface level, takes on the character, like like the Snydery takeaways from the character. It's just something kind of nice and gets to the core of why Superman earns the title Superman.
Cool. Whew, all right. All of a sudden, I'm getting an allergy attack out of nowhere, so I apologize, guys, if I have any pauses. Ooh, God. Ooh, okay. Power through it. Okay. Number 2 for me. I went back and forth in my head so much. This might be one of the hardest years because I genuinely love both of these movies for pretty different reasons. I love one of them for just the emotional fucking ride that it puts me through. And I love another one just for having straight up some of the absolute best like storytelling and filmmaking of the past year. And so ultimately the one thing that kind of puts my number 1 into the number 1 slot is the ending, because you all know that I'm a stickler for a really good ending. So with that in mind, number 2 is going to be The Long Walk. This movie, it's one of those like in theater experiences that I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. Seeing this movie for the first time in theaters, I was already nervous going into it, right? Like I was already nervous because I have a hard time with seeing injustice in film. I have a hard time with seeing like characters put into positions that they shouldn't be put into, and just kind of having to grapple with that. And this is basically like a whole movie of that. I mean, yeah, technically the characters do sign up for this, sure. But like, I mean, Cooper Hoffman, he has, or I forget if it's Cooper or if it's David Johnson, has a great, I think it might be David Johnson, has a great speech about like, no, like, look, like society has like conditioned us to sign up for this shit. Like this really wasn't a choice for us. And honestly, in that way, I find the scenario to be almost more tragic than something like the Hunger Games, where they are forced into it, because it's almost kind of like an assault on your masculinity. Almost, it's almost like, yeah, if you don't sign up for this, then you're not a real man. And obviously, it's like that whole sentiment comes from a very young Stephen King being angry and bitter about Vietnam. And I feel like that parallel still plays really well here. But I mean, seriously, like even from the get-go, even before we even see any film, just the letter, just the whole like, "Dear Mr. Garrity, you have been selected to participate in the Long Walk." Like that alone just kind of gets my anxiety on edge. And then before you even get to the walk, you've got Judy Greer just absolutely acting her fucking heart out. Like your heart just breaks for Judy Greer as Cooper Hoffman's mother. Like every second that this woman has on screen, very much the female equivalent to William H. Macy, as far as like just making a huge impact in not a ton of screen time and only a couple scenes. She really just knocks it out of the park. And then you get to the walk itself, and like that first kill that happens like maybe 10 minutes into the movie that transitions us into what I think is one of the best title drops of the century. Like genuinely, like the title drop in this movie just floors me, just how impactful it is. And then, I mean, through the rest of the movie, like the ensemble cast in this thing, like PerGron, you put it really well with the bully, where it's, it's a Stephen King bully where he is a bully, but oh my God, he actually has dimension and he's a real human being. And he's very self-aware of his flaws. Like, that's so refreshing. Ben Wang, to me, gives the absolute performance of the whole year. The one line that he has of like just screaming like, I did it all wrong, like that haunts me. It absolutely just haunts me. His whole character arc is just devastating, just completely devastating. But that's the thing, is that even background characters, like even characters that don't get a lot of, like, like there's the kid with the radio, in the montage, and then he just randomly gets killed. Like, I mean, you feel for every single one of these people, even the background people, and just the actual editing and the filmmaking and how it goes about showing it. The sound design in this movie is just super impactful. The whole all the warnings being given out, and like it really just gets you into the character's headspace. The uphill sequence is fucking insane. It's so anxiety inducing. I mean, I feel like anxiety is kind of like a running theme with some of these movies, but this has some of the best like anxiety inducing moments of the year for me, I think. Mark Hamill, yeah, he's not in a lot of the movie. Granted, I'll give you that. He is still so effective when he does pop up. He is such a piece of shit. And I feel like it's even more impressive given that he plays basically like the world's best grandpa in The Life of Chuck, right? and then he's like, y'all got my respect, boys. Y'all got sack. Like, it's so good. He's so fucking good. Yeah, just absolutely gut-wrenching to watch. But you know what? I do genuinely think that I don't really think this is misery porn. I really don't, because it shows that camaraderie. It shows that brotherhood. And that's one of the biggest and smartest adaptation changes that this made from the book, because, of course, I read the book right after this. This became one of my hyper fixations of the year. The book is very Lord of the Flies, right? The book is very much like, I mean, even between Garrity and David Johnson's character, McFreeze, like there's some camaraderie there, but it's not like a love. There's not like a brotherly thing there at all, And this movie does have that, and the fact that they're all pulling for each other from the very get-go, it just makes the whole thing even more tragic, dude. So yeah, I mean, it's a movie that I'm probably going to think about for the rest of my life. That first viewing experience in theaters was just harrowing. It doesn't have the best ending. I'll totally admit that. Honestly, if the ending didn't have that one line, PerGron, that I meme on, the line.
Yes.
I think I would find it more palatable, but I feel like that line just kind of like spells it out a little bit too much. I do like the final image of it, though, and the final image of it does kind of mirror the ending of the book in some interesting ways. So I don't think it's a terrible ending at all. I don't think it's an end. I think it's a good ending. I genuinely think it's a good ending. I just don't think it's the best way that you could have ended it. But yeah, just a fucking tour de force powerhouse of a movie. I am going to be thinking about it for the rest of my life. Probably in my top 10 of 20 of the movies of the 2020 so far. Probably pretty easily in my top 10 of the 2020 so far. Just a fucking powerhouse, man. Just absolutely knocked my socks off. All right.
Your bloody socks off from all the walking.
Yes. Oh God.
Well, I mean, it was really tense because they made you walk on the treadmill while you're watching the movie too.
Dude, I would pay good money to do that, man.
That would have been such an interesting.
For those who don't know, they actually did a screening where people were like on a treadmill, like while they were watching, during the walking, and
they had to keep up the 3 mile an hour pace.
Yeah. Yep.
And of
All
course, this
right.
is a year that I got really into cardio too and started counting my steps and shit. So it's like, of course, a movie like this would come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tiki, you mentioned how The Long Walk has camaraderie and it's not misery porn.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some misery porn? Because my number 2 is Hamnet.
So you're
Um,
admitting that it's misery porn?
no, absolutely not. I think this is a fucking beautiful movie. I
All
think
right.
that this handles
This
grief.
is easily the biggest divide that you and I don't hate it, but for me, it's not even close to making my top 20. This is
Dude,
easily the biggest divide that you and I have this year.
this is a masterpiece, and I genuinely don't understand where you're coming from. Um, no, this is just a fucking perfect movie. I'm not gonna try to be hyperbolic about this. This is a perfect movie. It is perfectly shot, perfectly scored, perfectly acted. Jessie Buckley gives the performance of her life. This is somebody who I don't know too many things I've seen her in. I've seen her in Wicked Little Letters last year, which was a good
That
one.
was a really kind of underrated little fun movie. I
Yeah,
like that movie. Yeah.
I saw like obviously she was in Chernobyl, but like other
Uh,
than that, I don't know anything I've seen her in. And looking at her
I
letterbox right
she's
now,
popped up and stuff, but yeah.
like yeah, like Doolittle, I guess she was
Oh
in.
God, what she? Oh man. Oh,
Everybody was in Doolittle. um, but this is the kind of movie that when you hear Oscar bait, this is the kind of Oscar bait I want. This is something that has substance to it. It's something that
Mid is
has.
probably the movie that I know her most from. Besides this,
I haven't seen that one. I
you
don't
haven't
think.
seen Men. You haven't seen the
No,
movie where it's like the big climax is like the man like literally giving birth to other men.
I
Like
no. I think I avoided that one because of the discourse.
that's fair. That's fair.
um, But yeah, I mean, she's phenomenal here. Paul Mescal is playing Paul Mescal at this point, and I'll agree with that point. But he does a phenomenal job at it, and the ending with Hamlet, where they're performing it at the
It's a good
Globe,
ending. I will totally give you
it's
that. It's a very good ending.
I think it's the best ending of the year personally. I think Noah Jupe's cameo in it is phenomenal. Um, I think that just the emotion it reaches a climax that I think it absolutely deserves. And while I'll agree that I can see people arguing that it's too sad or whatever. I've seen sadder movies. I've seen movies that people call the greatest movie ever that are just misery porn. Fucking Grave of the Fireflies, dude. That movie is misery porn. This one at least has.
I've never had the stomach to do Grave of the
I
Fireflies. Yeah.
watched Grave of the Fireflies.
I don't think it's a very good movie, but that's just me. I'll fight that one a different day. Um, there is a gut wrenching moment, but it's a movie about grief more than it is about child dies. I don't think that's what the movie's about. I think it's very much about a woman coping with grief while her husband copes in a different way. They're drifting apart. They don't understand each other, and at the end, they are able to come back together and really understand their perspective. And I thought it was just a fucking beautiful movie. I thought it was a beautiful ending. My one issue, and this is such a PerGron issue to have, I want you to
Uh-huh.
understand this. My biggest issue is she has a hawk in this movie. And that hawk that she has is a Harris's hawk, which
Oh
is a
man.
species from the southwestern United States, a species that would not be around during Shakespeare's time in the United Kingdom. And that was my biggest issue with the movie. Now, Harris's hawks are very common falconry birds, and I get why they used it for the movie, but everything else is so period accurate that took me right out, and it's an issue nobody else on earth will have. But it was like you couldn't have gotten a British falcon. But no, just a beautiful movie. It's one that I'm going to be rooting for as the award season continues, and I think it's a perfect movie.
All right, Dragon.
And my number 2 is Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Oh, duh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, when you said your number one is not a superhero movie, I'm like, are you forgetting Fantastic Four? It's
Well, it's
still in
still
play
not
here.
though. I
It's
was
not,
right.
but
I was
it was
technically
still in play.
right.
Anyway, so
I'm
yeah, I mean,
surprised
look,
you got Superman, honestly.
look, like I said, it's the top three, especially within the top five. The top three were very much in contention. I could really swap any of them for the number one spot. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing: at the end of the day, Superman and Fantastic Four. That was for me. That was like the big question. Everyone in my coworker and everything would always argue like which is you like better, the Superman and Fantastic Four. And at the end of the day, so this was my most anticipated MCU film. Honestly, for a long time. I've been dying to see the Fantastic Four in the MCU ever since they announced, the big Fox deal. And I mean, still technically they're in the 828 universe, so it's not like full on MCU, but still, it's I want to see the Marvel, kind of the Marvel Studios take on the Fantastic Four. I mean, still, doing Fantastic Four in the '60s. It's amazing. It's what the fans wanted to see, and it was a really good idea. I crave definitive takes on things because they're so rare and far and few between. They can watch something and have like, oh my god, this is what these characters should be, represented. They could be the go-tos or something strong that could be a go-to. And historically, the Fantastic Four, it's either been close but no cigar or abysmal failure. So it has not. The Fantastic Four has not had a good track record cinematically. And like I said, the Tim Story films have their redeeming values, and there are things I really do like in those films. And they're Fantastic Four movies of the time in which we didn't really have a plan, we didn't figure things out. Everyone was really iffy on like what's going to sell commercially. Those films are imperfect, but they're kind of imperfect for a reason. They were kind of trying that they're chasing the dragon that is Spider-Man, and the X-Men. They're trying to compete with what was popular. But I think this movie gets very close to the definitive. It's so darn close, and I really appreciate that. I love I love the Fantastic Four in the movie. I love the opening montage that introduces them and just kind of gives us like a breakdown like how this universe works. It just basically like right off the bat, it gave me a feeling of reading Fantastic Four for the first time in the '60s, which is that's a rare feeling, man. It just felt good. That and like Giacchino's giving it like a score that feels kind of monolithic for the Fantastic Four, but also kind of very indicative of the '60s, and I really like that. At the end of the day, I think what really ingratiates me in the movie is that I was invested in reading Sue's love story, and the safety of that baby. To me, like the standout scene, especially in an MCU film, and the run they've been having. It's like the chase scene in the the birth of Franklin in around the black hole. To me, in the theater, I was mesmerized. I was on the edge of my seat. It's just I that's what that's what I want from the MCU. I want to feel that, and that we haven't really felt that way in a long time. When you're on the edge of your seat, like wondering what the heck's going to happen. And I mean, obviously, they're going to be okay, but it's like still, it's the trick that oh my god, I'm so invested in what's going to happen right now. This feels like a huge moment, coupled with the literal huge moment that is Act 3, in which we do Galactus and we do him pretty well. He's not a cloud, so it only goes up from there. And essentially we basically did Galactus as practically as we could. That's even more impressive to me. I could quibble about things. Look, I can quibble. The main quibble I have is the one thing that separates this from being a definitive Fantastic Four, and that's not using Norrin Red as the Silver Surfer. It's not a political thing. It's not like an anti-woman thing. It's not any of that. It's just the fact that
You
like
just
we
hate all
nailed.
women, Dragon. You just hate all women. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm sorry.
Anyway, the point being, just the fact that it's like we hit everything else like in a debatably like a definitive way, with the exception of, and we changed one thing up for the heck of it because the other movie had a male Silver Surfer. It's like, and we didn't. It's not so much that we did it; it's the fact that we did it, and we didn't really capitalize on like what we could gain from that, aside from Johnny Storm having the hots for the Silver Surfer. That's about it. Aside from, it's not like a whole thing of like, hey, they're both mothers. Maybe the Silver Surfer should have a scene with Sue Storm, the expecting mother, perhaps. I don't, just throwing it out there. But again, it's very small. I also like to have there's a stupid pet peeve, but I wish the Thing shaved at the end of the movie. I don't like him with the beard at the very end of the movie. It's like, I'm fine with the beard. The beard's a callback in the comics. It's a cool idea. I just like, they have power now. He can shave. Why does he still have the... It's a little... Anyway, the point being, this was... I don't know, this to me just felt like the great cinematic tribute to the Fantastic Four I've been waiting to see for many years, and I loved it. And when I rewatch it, I still feel just kind of like the joy, and like it's in a there's the string of MCU films that have not been living up to their full potential. This one felt like it did, and I think that was just a welcome, like, yes, like it's a win that Marvel needed, and it succeeded.
All right. And we are at our number ones. I think it's fair to say that we can all predict what our number ones are going to be. I don't really think there's much surprise here. So,
War of the Worlds, baby.
You literally stole the joke right out of my mouth. How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, it's all slobbery too. Yeah, PerGron, wash your hands.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
You don't know where he's been.
One, live action Snow White. No. All right, number one for me is obviously Weapons. Here's the thing: I didn't love Weapons right off the bat. I really did. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you posted coming out of it, Together is better than Weapons.
Oh man, no, I don't feel that at all now.
You had posted that one.
Yeah. No, for me, this movie absolutely needed a rewatch. And once I got that rewatch in, and you see everything coming together, there are so many things going on in this movie, even in the background, like so many little details, and the way that the plot is put together, the way that the thing is edited, and the jumping around in time and everything. It's ingenious to me. Here's the thing with me and Zach Krager. PerGron, I didn't hate Barbarian. I didn't hate it, but it's one of those movies where I really enjoyed it in the movie theater, but it was very much diminishing returns, where it's like, okay, basically all that movie had going for it was like kind of shock value and like, hey, like you expect the movie to go this way, but it's actually going to go this way. And that was like the one gimmick that movie really had going for it. Mm-hmm. And so I was worried for Weapons in that regard. And when Weapons did start doing a similar structure to, it's not the exact same structure to Barbarian, but it's similar. The first watch, I genuinely did not know how it was going to hold up. But like I said, once I got to that rewatch, man, it's like I haven't even needed to watch this thing a third time, because for me, it's like everything just solidifies. I think that like the hook of this movie, the premise is just, it's so captivating. It's so just like, it just like that opening scene with the George Harrison song over it. Just the imagery there is just absolutely out of this world. Just really, really iconic stuff. I think the cast across the board is great. PerGron, I will agree. I can agree with you that the bum and the cop should have maybe like their storylines maybe could have been a little bit trimmed down. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it affects the pacing all that much for me personally. And I do think that like there are certain things that you see in both perspectives that, maybe wouldn't make sense. So it's like, I kind of feel what you're saying there, but for me, it just doesn't bother me. The AK-47, the big fucking gun in the sky, I actually have grown to really like that moment, just because for me, it's pretty obvious that the theme that this movie is going for is the impact that school shootings have on a community.
Mhm.
Where it's like a whole classroom of kids that fucking disappear, and the title weapons and everything. Like I really do think that with Zach Krager writing this movie, school shootings were probably a big theme with him, probably a big idea. And so I do like that, like right in the center of the movie, we do have that big piece of like film brain level symbolism, that just kind of like beats you over the head, but in a way where it's like I feel like it appropriately beats you over the head. It's like, hey, guns in schools are fucking bad. Yeah, Josh Brolin is fantastic. I mean, Josh Brolin is great in everything he's in. Like, he was even really good in The Running Man, which I otherwise kind of hated. But besides Coleman Domingo,
Coleman Domingo is also very good in The Running Man.
Yes.
But Coleman Domingo is also always good in everything that he's
everything.
in.
Yes,
Except Wicked for Good, where he gets one line.
Oh, I forgot he was in Wicked. Wasn't he the lion?
He was the lion.
That's so fucking weird, dude.
And they made such a big deal about it, and he gets one
They did.
line.
They did make a big deal about the lion. I know about that.
Anyways, Gladys is an instantly iconic horror movie villain. I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that it seems like we're getting a Gladys spin-off movie.
Are we really?
It seems like they're doing that. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know if it's officially confirmed yet, but it's very much like being talked about now. Here's the thing, PerGron. I know you and I disagree on Pearl. I love Pearl. And because Pearl turned out as good as it did for me, I'm willing to see a Gladys movie. I'm willing to see where it goes. I'm skeptical about it. I'm more skeptical about it than I was for Pearl. I think Pearl, for me, is pretty definitively a better movie than X. So it's like the prequel.
I think Pearl is the best of the three.
Yeah. So, and by the way, that's the movie that introduced us to David Cornsweet as a sketchy fucking porn theater owner.
Which we know for a fact. No, seriously. James Gunn, he said he went with Superman because of Pearl.
Which is just insane to me.
He's only been a sketchy dude. Like, even in Twisters, he's sketchy.
Right, yeah. Oh, I forgot about him in Twisters. He's delightful in Twisters as, like, the rival. Yeah.
But, like, even there, he's just, like, a sketchy dude.
Right. Okay, but, yeah, so Aunt Gladys, man, I mean, she is... Amy Madigan honestly looks like she might be on track to fucking win the Oscar, which is incredible. If that happens, I'm gonna jump out of my skin. Like, she's so good, she's so creepy. The way that they deal with the rules involving her character is so well constructed. I mean, like, her presence alone in the movie just kind of jumps it up to like instant horror classic status for me. She is up there with, for me, some of the all-time best, most unsettling horror villains that we have ever seen. Just bar fucking none. I love her. But we got to talk about the ending. Because the ending to me is the reason why this is number one. And here's the thing. Yes, the chase scene is incredible. Gladys, getting what she deserves, just to put it like that, is fucking, it's cathartic as shit. Yes.
And unexpected as shit.
Like, it's genuinely like one of those like moments in movies that just pops. It's one of those like instantly iconic scenes. For me, it's kind of like this movie's equivalent to the I Lied to You scene from Sinners. Like, obviously very different scenes, but you know what I mean, though? It's like you see that in the movie theater, you're just instantly like, oh, that's going to be a fucking film school. Like, they're going to study that scene in film school. You know what I mean? But what I really want to emphasize here, what nobody talks about with the ending that to me, just solidified this as the number one of the year for me, is that ending narration. We get the catharsis. We get the craziness, for sure. But then, like, the movie just fucking hits us in the face with the reality of the situation, where it's just a little bit of narration, and then the last line of the movie is, like, some of them even started talking again this year. Which, oh my God, like I get goosebumps just saying it. Like that one line to me just it just solidifies this whole fucking movie as just I don't know. There's something so powerful about that statement, you know, like where it's like the to the little kid, it's like, oh yeah, that's good. They might, you know, they started talking again. But for the I just like, oh man, no, it's like that whole like we can cheer for the kids as they tear Gladys apart, but you even see it in the movie. Like after they come out of their spell, they are fucking wrecked by what they just did. Like they have no idea what's going on. They literally just mauled a woman with their bare hands. Like, you know, it's I don't know, man. That just the impact of trauma, just the statement of that. It knocked me on my fucking feet. It's one of my favorite endings of the past few years, both as far as that kind of cathartic, crazy visual chasing that we get, but mostly for that last line, man. That last line just fucking it hits me so deep. It hits me to my fucking core, and that's why I love this movie as much as I do. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's my piece.
All right. I think my biggest issue with that line is that at the beginning of the movie, when they say they left their houses and never returned, or whatever they say, it's like, okay, but they did return, or they were never seen again, I think is the line, and they were.
Right, PerGron, haven't you ever heard of like, you know, like building suspense? You know,
I don't know. I just found it a little bit cheap, but that's fine. It was still in my top 20. I still very much enjoyed Weapons. All right. My number one, surprising absolutely nobody, is, of course, Sinners. It is my second favorite movie of the 2020s thus far. It is easily my favorite movie of the year. It is easily my favorite Ryan Coogler movie. It is easily my favorite Michael B. Jordan movie. It is easily my favorite vampire movie of all time. This movie, if Hamnet is a masterpiece, this is the Louvre itself. This is just everything that I've ever wanted in a movie. When I first saw the trailer, I'm like, that's going to be a badass movie. When I came out of Sinners, I was a changed man. I walked out of Sinners having seen a lot of movies in my life, more than the average person for sure. And I walked out of Sinners with that childhood mindset of I need to change my entire life to be that.
Oh man.
Like this movie, every single scene I have dissected. This is the movie of the year that I've watched the most. I've watched it, I think, 6 times at this point. I saw it in theaters 4 times just in and of itself.
I think I saw it 3 times myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the I Lied to You scene is an instant all-timer scene, just ever. But there's so many moments in this movie that I fucking every ounce of me adores. Pretty much every line Delroy Lindo delivers is an instant classic. He is probably my favorite part of this movie. We have the scene where they're driving to the juke and he's talking about his friend that was lynched for like $100 or whatever. And you hear the sounds of it happening in the background while he's telling the story. We have, again, the I Lied to You scene, just a masterpiece of a scene. And when the vampires show up, I'm so glad that they didn't go with the vampires are the racist white guys. Like, yes, the vampires are white, but it's very much like gets to play into the history of
literally the reason they want to hang out with these people is that they are actively not racist and empathize with them.
Right. Like it really plays into the history of the Irish as an oppressed people, and not even an oppressed people in the way that like right wingers like to be like, well, the Irish were slaves too, blah blah. No, like they were an oppressed people in their country. Remick has an amazing line at the end where Sammy's praying and he's saying the Our Father and all the vampires join in. This is a moment that like any other time in any other movie, like you say the Our Father and the vampires are like, ah! But they all join in, and he says, "These words were forced on my people, but I've always found comfort in them." That fucking gave me the chills. And
Very
then you get
similar to the Killmonger death scene, I think.
yes, yeah. And then like I love the Rocky Road to Dublin scene.
Yes, absolutely.
I love Cornbread doing his little jig in the circle. I love Cornbread. He was also one of my favorites. The fact this is Miles Caton's first role ever is fucking insane. Wumi Mosaku is amazing in this movie, who you'll also know from Black Panther. She's T'Challa's wife in those movies. Haley Steinfeld was amazing in this movie. It almost made me forgive her for the riff off in Pitch Perfect 2. Not quite, but almost. Just everybody, like this whole movie, every like ounce of it, and what I hope comes the production design, the score by Ludwig Göransson, just holy fuck! I've listened to this score. This is the only score I've listened to post movie, like the entire thing.
Like the One Battle After Another score is fantastic for that movie, but you're not going to listen to that thing like on its own.
Right. No, this is like genuine driving music.
It is. Yeah.
It's awesome. But the one thing I hope we get out of this is I would love more movies in this universe that aren't sequels. Like, I want a Choctaw Vampire Hunter movie. Like, I want...
Yes. That's the thing that everyone's kind of asking for, and I agree.
I want an indigenous director to pick up the Choctaw Vampire Hunters, and I want that like I want breakfast in the morning. It's not a want, it's a need.
That's some Native American bacon right there.
But yeah, I mean, I knew as soon as I saw this movie, I'm like, if something surpasses this as best movie of the year, this will be the best year of the decade.
Right.
Like, Sinners is just, it is that movie. I want to join you guys when you guys talk about it. I know you said you were saving it for Black History Hero.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely, like, it'll probably be just you and me, because Dragon, are you gonna watch Sinners for Black History Heroes?
I don't want to confirm nor deny anything on the podcast. Okay,
that's fair.
I do think that Dragon. I mean, there's moments in here that I think probably, if you're like really like not a blood and gore guy, I think there's moments that could disturb you, but otherwise I do think this is a pretty watchable. Even
there's not really a lot of jump scares.
No, there's two right at the beginning of the movie, and then the snake, which was cheap as fuck.
And the beginning was also pretty cheap, honestly.
I also forgot, I love Bo Chow. I love the whole sequence where he's like, he shoots the guys in the ass. I love the whole movie. This whole thing is I could just gush about this entire movie. I'm not going to continue on because we just hit the 2-hour mark. But yeah, Sinners is a very easy number one for me.
All right, and Dragon.
My number one is Frankenstein.
We
Del Toro
Frankenstein as our number one.
We do. That's funny.
Yeah, there you go.
Dragon, I will say, with this pick, I don't think you're a filthy film bro yet, but I think you've graduated to film bro.
Again, I've had non-superhero movies before. It's been documented in the comments. It's not an out-of-the-box concept. I've gone at least 2 years without superhero movies.
No, you're right.
I'm sure there's some movies where animated films are at the top. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, you're right. Coco. Yeah. Inside Out. No, you're right.
Anyway. So, the Del Toro Frankenstein. So this is the Frankenstein adaptation I've been waiting for a long time. I love Del Toro, and I love his takes on the Universal monsters. I'm obsessed with The Shape of Water. See, one year I might have been number one as well. That's why I say it's not completely out of the realm there. So he made it like a class. Sorry, it's basically he made this film like like a classic, like kind of like they did back when. Where nowadays we do more like an assembly line. Like this movie took a lot. This was in development for many years, and he wanted to get this movie. The difference is one of the reasons Del Toro takes so long to make movies is that he's taking his time with it, but also it's like he doesn't pre Shape of Water, he never had the funding to do the stuff that he really wanted to do. Now he kind of does. Now he's been getting, especially with the Netflix partnership, he's been able to do the stuff, a lot of the bucket list stuff he's wanted to do. So Shape of Water's opened a lot of doors for him. Kind of give him a lot of, stuff. Between Shape of Water and Nightmare Alley, I guess, to be specific. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Shape of Water gave him like the green light to do Nightmare Alley, and then anyway. But yeah, I just love how he approached the movie. I love how he approached the story here. I love the 2-act structure. I love the father son kind of story at the core of it, which is I think always some of the best stuff we can do with Frankenstein. We don't always do with Frankenstein, but when we do it, it's great. And I think he really hit on those notes here. And we know from past experiences, and one of the reasons I was looking forward to this movie was seeing what he did on Hellboy. Ever since he did the Hellboy movies, he's wanted to do Frankenstein. You kind of see that in the material, and he's finally able to do it. I think we have a great framing device from the book. Again, look, to the layman, I think it's very faithful to the book. I know some people will quibble over certain details, but I'm sure that they read the book.
The big difference between the book and the movie is literally everything about the brother character is like completely different in the book.
I mean, do you miss it though?
Honestly, yes. Okay, I prefer the way the book handles the brother, but no.
All right. Yeah. Well, I guess the point being, the layman is the people only read sections of Frankenstein in school versus the whole book. I guess I don't know. That's what I said. You read the whole book. All right, they just gave us sections. All right. Anyway, point being, it's like stuff from the original Frankenstein book you've always either heard about or you read sections of, or I guess read the whole book of, and just seeing it kind of adapted when traditionally in film we're sticking to the Karloff version, the 31 version, or at least a variation on it of some kind. People kind of ignore the book. I thought it was really refreshing, and at least it was a very digestible, yet faithful in many other capacities. Again, Del Toro, cinematic liberties, director, he's not going to be verbatim from the book. He made changes, but I don't know. I really like the changes that he made. I really felt he used every part of the Buffalo on this. We have a great framing device. We have great style applied to this, practical sets. Gothic. It's just the Castle Frankenstein, or it's the workspace that we're using. There's humanity in it. Jacob Elordi, he did. He's brimming with humanity as he plays the creature. Basically, I think the way I kind of sum it up is I think what Del Toro did with this movie is he posed the question, why does Frankenstein live? And I think I kind of feel that when I'm watching, when I rewatch the movie. It's kind of like these Del Toro's obsessed with kind of the whole genesis of the human soul thing, and because he's explored the mechanics of the human body, and for one, like Devil's Backbone and stuff, and again, stuff I haven't had the stomach myself to watch yet, but just the idea he's got into the workings of it, and again, the kind of the at the core of it is what is what really brings somebody to life? Is it the human soul? Is it not the human soul? And it's kind of why does Frankenstein live? What does he take away from the experiences and everything? It's kind of the Lazarus effect applied to Frankenstein. And I just found it very moving. I just kind of found it perfect. The ending specifically, I really loved it. I love Del Toro. Just the way he makes a mean movie, and he still does, because he cares about every aspect. That there are no accidents. There's not a thing on screen that was that was just kind of thrown there like an afterthought. It just kind of it was all by design. The color theory, he's checking off all the boxes I want. Again, look, Shape of Water. I mean, it's still for the most part, it's always going to be my favorite. I mean, it doesn't quite top it for me, but I think Shape Onward, from what I've seen with Del Toro,
you need to see Pan's Labyrinth too, my guy.
Well, this is the anniversary year for Tiki, so maybe I'm waiting for it.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we were gonna do something on it, maybe, huh?
All right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point being, Shape of Water onwards, I can't
I
get
love how
enough of.
like both of you have wanted to fight me for different reasons on both of these parts.
Well, you're kind of irritating. I don't know.
Dragon, you wanna meet him in a Chili's parking lot?
Nah,
Take turns.
we'll get him when he's walking.
Okay, we'll go to a comedy show.
He does. He doesn't walk fast, so it should be pretty easy.
We can
Hey,
we can
No, I
Statler and
walk
Waldorf
very
a comedy
fast,
show.
sir.
I don't
Did
know
you not hear that I got really into cardio this year?
Oh yeah,
Tiki, Dragon and I are gonna come Statler and Waldorf your comedy show.
Oh man.
Anyway. Point being, look, Shape of Water onwards, I can't get enough of what he's been doing with the recent films. I've been really blown away by them consistently. So I think that was like, and I could have put Frankenstein in the top 3 spot anywhere, but I don't know. I don't know. I really think it's been a benefit to cinema what he's been doing lately, and I think this is really good. And again, if we're gonna give anyone like, hey, can we get like yet another Frankenstein adaptation? This is the guy you give it to, and I think he turned out really good results. And again, he's legitimizing Netflix to a degree, and I think that's this guy's bringing like guys. This is how we should do the movies. I mean, Netflix gave him like the stop motion. They're giving him a stop motion studio just like to see what else he can do. So I mean, look. Let Del Toro cook, man. Let him make the monsters. Let him have a ball. Let him heck. I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole the man, but like if he wants to do his own version of a cinematic universe of the Universal monsters, let him do it. If he wants to like do Epic Universe's job for him, let him do it. But yes, I can't get enough of the way I was moved by it. I marveled at it. It's just it was the movie of the year for me. I loved it.
All right. Cool. All right. So the last thing to do is just to count down our full list. So I'll go first. Number 20, Jay Kelly. Number 19, Die My Love. Although, if I'm being honest with you, I might switch that out with Song Sung Blue. Like one of these, like kind of like outliers. Like I could switch Song Sung Blue into. I just forgot to include Song Sung Blue, and I feel bad. Number 18, Sisu, Road to Revenge. Number 17, Friendship. Number 16, The Ballad of Wallace Island. Number 15, The Naked Gun. Number 14, No Other Choice. 13, Eternity. 12, The Life of Chuck. 11, The Day the Earth Blew Up. 10, Sorry Baby. 9, Splitsville. 8, Marty Supreme. 7, Superman. 6, Twinless. 5, One Battle After Another. 4, Train Dreams. 3, Sinners. 2, The Long Walk. And 1, Weapons.
All right. At 20, I've got Bring Her Back. At 19, Presence. At 18, Weapons. 17, I had Splitsville. 16, I had Predator Badlands. 15, I had The Life of Chuck. 14, The Long Walk. 13, Neja 2. 12, F1. 11, Friendship. 10, Begonia. 9, One Battle After Another. 8, Marty Supreme. 7, Sorry Baby. 6, Superman. 5, Wake Up Dead Man. 4, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. 3, Train Dreams. 2, Hamnet. And at number 1, I have Sinners.
All right. My list. Number 20. Wait, did we also include the honorable mentions, just the 20?
No, just exclude the 20. That's fine.
Gotcha. All right, number 20. The Accountant 2. Number 19, Thunderbolts. Number 18, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Number 17, The Day the Earth Blew Up. Number 16, Roofman. Number 15, Zootopia 2. Number 14, Wake Up, Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery. Number 13, Caught Stealing. Number 12, Novocaine. Number 11, Elio. Number 10, Life of Chuck. Number 9, Nobody 2. Number 8, The Naked Gun. Number 7, Nanas. Number 6, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Number 5, Not Just a Goof. Number 4, John Candy, I Like Me. Number 3, Superman. Number 2, Fantastic Four First Steps. Numero uno, Frankenstein.
Alrighty, well that'll do it. Really quick, because Kogias did share his. I'll go over his top 10. Let's see. Hold on, sorry. Okay. 10, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. 9, a Minecraft movie. 8, Superman. 7, Brave New World. 6, the Batman Ninja sequel. 5,
The Yakuza League.
4, Superhero Rewind, the movie, which he said he's kind of surprised wasn't on your list, Dragon.
Well, I mean, I can't put everything on there. I mean, come on, Cap had a lot of pacing issues in that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so 3, Frozen, the hit Broadway musical. 2, Smurfs. That's the only one. That's the only one where I'm like, really, Kogias, really?
Oh, come on. Frozen, the Broadway musical, barely even counts.
Yeah, that's a pro shot.
And 1, K-Pop Demon Hunters. All right. Okay, and also thanks to Teddy, and Little Boo for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Don't forget to vote in the Golden Tikis because our wild card rounds are quickly
coming to an end.
Yeah, we've got maybe 4 or 5 more, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I can actually check right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 more after today. So yeah, get your votes in. It looks like quite a few people have voted on best cameo, and you know what, PerGron?
What's that?
Not a single person has voted for Penn Jillette.
Because they didn't know it was him.
I know. Okay. All right. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. See y'all later. Have a good night, everyone. Filthy film bros. Filthy film bros.